here in this clearing in the woods, you sense something deeply special, something that calls to your blood and bones, the promise of eternal summer, eternal childhood, eternal joy. It is a sweet promise, and together you agree to answer its call here in this small clearing where the trees circle round you like arms, and the ground is as soft as Gran's quilt, and this rabbit-shaped rock holds everything together at its center. Here in this place you have found and built together, you are safe, you are unseen, you are free. Here in this place where the wind moves soft through the leaves and the bark bears the marks of your letters and a rabbit kicks up its heels and runs, not in fear, but in joy. You are best friends, and nothing will ever come betwixt you.
So here we are in dismal Pennsylvania. And in this town, and I'm going to do my best Appalachian accent here, so hopefully I don't offend anyone. But here in this town, you've all come together in your youth. Between the ages of 10 and 12, y'all can decide how old you are. But in this clearing in the woods is something special. You had many shared experiences here as a child, as a young adult, you came here, near this rabbit-shaped rock. You're safe, you're unseen, you are free. I'd like you to take a moment and Ossie, tell me, when you were a child, what did you do here near this fort, near this rock? What's something you may have brought here to contribute to the fort?
Well, I'm a big fan of music. I think as a child I would have spent time playing on my fiddle and just listening to the sounds of nature and let it inspire me for my music.
So the sound of your fiddle playing echoed throughout the woods. You can still hear that sound calling out to birds and beasts. And feel free to look at the heading under that summer to help you fill in these gaps as well. What about Zoah? What's something that you brought as a child to this fort to share with your friends?
Well, I brought some stuff from home to make a little symbol for us to kind of mark our little area. So I brought in some twine, and we kind of built a little makeshift little thing with some sticks and twined it together and kind of pretended that was like a little fort sometimes. And that was kind of our mark that was our territory, our little play area.
Excellent. And Eavey, how about you? What did you bring to this fort as a child?
I didn't bring much, but I love to train. I love to exercise, to climb, to a lot of things.
So many of these trees have felt your strong hands as you pulled yourself up into the upper branches. The rocks have felt your strength as you rolled them over to see what lurked beneath, the centipedes and the snails. Perhaps you dug many burrows out here, trying to find whatever badger or whatnot lived in that hole. And W.E., what's something you might have brought out to this fort? And granted, it doesn't say anything on your character sheet. You just make this up if you can't think of something.
I think W. Whaley probably just brought his longing for friendship.
Oh, that's the best kind of ship of all, is friendship. So you came here to spend time with these folks, with these childhood friends. This connection that you shared with one another was very important, and you had a good sense of one another and these friendships. Of course, that can't always last.
Toward the end of that summer, as you were all spending time together in the fort, something happens. It's like a bomb went off in the middle of the fort, but a bomb made of shadow in the night. The sounds, the flashbangs going off, the smell of sulfur and burn. Each of you feel it sweep over you like sharp-edged feathers, and you can feel yourself forever changed. For a moment, your world and your vision darkens and you find yourself somewhere or someone else. And then you come back. And when you do, you see that the rabbit-shaped stone that had marked the very center of the fort has shattered into nothing but ash and smoke. And then you see something else. Ossie on the ground. Still and silent. Each of you has seen death before in the smallest things and the larger things, in the bee and the robin and the rabbit. And so you know death when you see it resting inside your friend. And a moment later, a cottontail appears next to your friend, but it is no ordinary rabbit. It is Rabbit. A creature long told in your bedtime stories and your campfire horrors. There is a living rabbit, as Rabbit's heart, small, big-footed, and big-eared, but upon and around that brown-beating heart are layered 1,000 ghosts of rabbits that were. Torn and tattered, teeth grown too long, and nails sharpened to talons. Each rabbit ghost tells their own story of luck gone wrong, and together they form the shape of a cottontail too large to be believed, one ear torn and drooping, blood of many upon its muzzle, back feet poised to drum even the dead to waken. Rabbit speaks, and his voice is the drying grass of fall, whispered in the chill.
This nest is my doing, and although I should not have let you borrow it, for I knew it to be dangerous, I did. It gladdened my heart, and I allowed it to continue for far too long. I can return your friend to the life from which they came, to be full and true and beating of heart once again. However, if I do this for you, you will each and all have an owe, to be paid together as a single warren upon your friend's next and final death. Do you say yes?
And so, Rabbit, this childhood creature that to glimpse now would send fear up your spine, but back then was a kindly soul. He tells you that although your friend Ossie has died, he can be brought back. But to do this, you will each and all have an owe to be paid together. Do you say yes?
Yes.
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 And Ossie, you're dead. You can't say yes.
I would say yes. Yes.
However, you know that when Ossie dies the second and final time is when that owe will come due.
Ossie breathes as though they had never stopped. Rabbit bows his many heads and is gone. The fort you once loved is destroyed. You are not sure what you have said yes to, and already the entirety of it begins to fade, a dream of friendship and death already unraveling, and after that y'all drift apart. Even if you stay in the same town, you go your own ways. It is like the loss of the fort and the loss of Ossie. There is nothing holding you together anymore. You are forever changed. Each of you in some way that you have only begun to explore. You do not truly come together again until one summer. Years later, when you get the message your childhood friend Ossie has died. And you understand you must return to the woods, you must gather at the fort, that there is something you must do.
So, Miss Pick, your character is dead for real this time, so thanks for playing.
Great. Good session, guys.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, hopefully we can play again. You all meet together again at the funeral. You haven't seen each other in years, and Eavey, the first time you see Zoah, it's been 10 years. You were once inseparable as friends, and now you come together with shared grief. What would you say to your old friend?
tough days, though these are, aren't they, buddy?
Zoah, what's your response?
Well, kind of sad to let go of the past and all the good times. So, just kind of a reckoning of what all the peace and fun times we had together.
And you both see W.E. walk into the funeral, wearing his finest clothes, a look of utter despair upon his face, as though he cannot believe this has happened. W.E., what do you say when you see your two friends standing near the casket of Ossie Birch?
Well, Ossie was a great fellow, and it's sad to see him go.
Indeed, a man of few words. Let's see if I've got the audio for this one.
The funeral for your friend Ossie is finished, and it was mostly exactly as you thought it would be. What you didn't expect was to hear the voice during the event recorded and played back, a voice lifted in song, accompanied by the haunting tunes of a fiddle. Ossie always did have music in their blood, even when they were little, and their voice had grown beautifully over the years. It was as if Ossie was right there with you, singing songs like they used to in the clearing in the woods. Each of you left the funeral moved by this music in your own way, drawn by something you could feel but couldn't name. It was both surprising and inevitable that you ended up right here in this clearing with these friends of your childhood who are no longer children and perhaps no longer even really friends, but you know why you're here. You remember the rabbit that wasn't a rabbit. You remember the promise you made. You remember your O. And of course, you remember Ossie. Even more so because it feels like you can still hear their voice out there in these woods, not singing now, but saying something. Saying your names. Saying hello. And how can that possibly be?
And so you find yourself in that clearing in the woods, and you see that rock now broken and weathered. And from the woods you see your friend, Ossie, to whom you had just said goodbye earlier this day. Ossie has a transparent, ethereal nature about him. You can see Ossie just as you saw his picture at the funeral, as an adult. Ossie, you know that you're a ghost, but you seem substantial. You can speak, you can touch, you can feel. And you're amazed that your friends can see you, because as you have wandered these woods, it seems as though nothing paid you any mind. And shortly after, Rabbit appears, looking exactly as he did when you saw him last. He bows his head and says, "My friends, you are all here because your O is now due. I brought Ossie back to life in the promise of a service that you would do to me. Ossie made this promise as well, and for that he is here, that you can complete it together." And Rabbit walks around this clearing as though remembering happier times, watching Eavey climb the trees, hearing the fiddle music, seeing all the enjoyment that was done, the markings that were made. Rabbit turns to each of you and says, "A corporation called the Langley Coal and Navigation Company is getting ready to construct a dam about 50 miles north of here. If construction begins, it will destroy not just the mining town of Langley, but it will create an opening for something ancient and powerful to enter the world. Some powerful entities, such as Rabbit himself, have been dealing with the Langley Coal and Navigation Company to get them to stop building, or at least move the dam elsewhere. But it's not enough. We need the river. to reject the project, says Rabbit. The river has protected itself against such incursions, mostly by working side by side with the Mander Witch, a powerful witch of water and wind. But she has gone missing from her protected place along the water, and I fear something has happened to her. The water is the purview of the Mander Witch, and you must find out what happened to her so that once again the river can protect itself. So travel north to the Mander Witch's domain, a small house along the river. Find out what happened to her. It's likely that she's in grave danger. There is no time to waste, as it will take you several days to reach her home. And then Rabbit sits in the clearing and grows quiet.
Well, guys, it looks like we have a job upon us.
This is what we agreed to.
And Ossie in particular knows that the years of life that they have enjoyed since their first death are due entirely to the promise that you all made to Rabbit that one spring day.
Indeed, I owe this to Rabbit to complete this task.
How does WE feel about doing this task? Is it something you're up for, or do you think this is something you might say, hey, that what we did as children was childish things, and now we're grown men and women? Or would you honor your owe to Rabbit?
Well, I think I probably should honor the what's owed to Rabbit. I don't think it'd be wise to go against him.
Indeed, that would be wise. For if you do not, something foul will befall you. And you see a horrifying vision of a creature similar to Rabbit, but much, much larger, with branching horns, all adrip with blood and viscera. You see the creature coming closer and closer until its horns begin to enter your body, and not stabbing but scooping, taking away some part of yourselves that's vital to your very humanity. I need each of you to make an intellect defense roll. This will be at level 5. If you want to use assets, skills, if you have intellect defense, or use effort, you should each have 1 level of effort. It will cost you 3 points to reduce that. And again, to beat a level 5, you need to get a 15 or higher.
Okay. So just roll it?
If you want to roll it, if you want to spend effort, or if you have an asset or Cypher, anything you want to use here, you're welcome to use it. You'll need to beat a 15 without any help.
Yeah, I rolled a 12, but it's eased for me, so I think I got it.
Yes, if it's eased for you, then a 12 is a success.
How do I open my character sheet?
If you go up to the upper right, there is the actor token, and then it should show you your sheet. I can pull tokens out here on the screen for us as well.
Oh, there you go.
So I have understanding magic that eases intellect, and this is like kind of a magic thing. So
that is correct. So you would need a 12 or higher, Ossie, and you got an 11.
Oh, okay.
So you could have spent effort. And Zoah, you still need to make your roll. Have you got something that'll help you out here?
I have intellect defense.
Yes, you do. That will ease it by 1. So you need to beat a level 4. If you want to spend effort, it would be a level 3. It would cost you 3 points of intellect. Oh, and that'll be the level 4. Right on the money.
Would sensing danger work? Perhaps
Sensing danger would not work in this case. because this is like a hallucination. It's something that happens in your mind.
Well, perhaps I can tell that if I don't help Rabbit that that would be dangerous, and I can sense that danger. That might be stretching it.
Well, these decisions. So I'll allow that, but these decisions should be made before you roll the dice. So going forward, let's try and do that. But I will allow it because I do think you make a valid point. In which case, everyone rolled a 12 except for Ossie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ossie.
wow.
Ossie didn't get the
I just
call
died,
that
okay? Cut me
you.
some slack.
So
We were all supposed to roll 12.
right,
We made that deal.
Ossie was off by one.
Deal.
So Ossie, you will. Oh yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
I was just gonna say, by the way, you look great, Ozzy.
Oh, thanks.
So Ossie, you take 3 points of intellect damage. You can remove that from your intellect pool. Excellent. Rabbit, seeing the anguish on Ossie's face and the sweat beading on all y'all's foreheads after seeing this vision, stamps his foot impatiently and says, "Time is of the essence. You must go now. Why do you tarry?"
Well, let us not tarry any longer. We should hurry and complete this task.
Well, it's gonna take a few days. They were saying possibly. Are we? We might need to make sure we're geared up and then head out.
Yes, if there's any provisioning you need to do here in the town of Dismal, you can take care of that. We'll just kind of quickly narrate that rather than role-playing with shopkeepers, but is there anything anyone would like to purchase or acquire to bring with them?
Well, just to make sure that we have the food for the journey.
Yeah, you head over to the general store, and they've got some hunting provisions. It's a little bag's got some cheese and jerky, bread. You also ensure you got a little bit of coin on your person in case you need to stop somewhere and buy something else. You grab a couple of boiled eggs and a few pickled vegetables to take with you as well. Ossie, you of course won't need to eat, but
No.
the food is very enticing because you have fond memories of eating and enjoying the feel of that food in your mouth and those tastes that you know will elude you for the rest of your days.
Yeah, and it looks like I have a small animal trap and a little portable camp stove, so I'm halfway there.
Perfect. Well, during the journey, I encourage you to use that trap. That trap will count as an asset if you try and catch something. Squirrel is awfully fine this time of year.
I reckon so.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do while they're still in town?
W.E. Whaley might want to. Comes to it, and we're out of food. He could try and fish for something.
Fish? Yeah, I'll say you've got that. You don't need to note it on your character sheet, but should we do some fishing? You just remind me that you've got some tackle and line, because we are going to be in the proximity of a river, apparently. Let's head out along the road. The journey is roughly 50 miles to get from here to the area that Rabbit directed you to. You have several options going forward. You can stick to the road, you can try and hop a train, or you can take your journey through the woods. How do you elect to travel?
I am trained in train hopping. So if we want to take that route, I'm pretty good at that.
So you propose taking the train?
That would be W. Whaley's first choice.
How does everyone else feel about that?
What does railroading means?
So that's going to be skills in knowing when the trains are due, like if you want to try and ride the train and hop off and on, maybe knowing where the secure points are where you don't want to be seen riding on the train. That's going to help you know the easiest places off and on, as well as the schedules. And I think, W.E., you mentioned that you are skilled in train hopping?
Yes.
Yeah, so if we need to get on a train, it's probably going to be a speed roll, and that's going to ease your task by a level. And railroading is going to help you to know when the train's coming. So maybe the two of you can work together if you want to take the train.
Yeah, so train seems like a very good idea. What do you guys think?
Well, if everyone is for the train, I can agree. But being the ranger, I don't mind sticking in the woods either.
Well, Eavey, give me a roll, a railroading roll. This will be an intellect roll. You're going to reduce that difficulty because you are skilled in railroading. And you got a 5. So your difficulty was a 3. That's going to reduce it to a 2. So you needed a 6 or higher. So you're not going to make that. You're trying to recall when this train runs. And you don't quite remember. But if you want to try that again, you can spend effort. Otherwise, to retry, you're going to have to probably go back into town and get a schedule.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to go grab a schedule.
It'll set you back about 30 minutes or so.
I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I knew, but it just escaped my mind. And
We could always just take a trail, just go through the woods. We have plenty of equipment. And then we can kind of take that time to plan what we're going to do when we get there.
We'll probably reminisce, too. We haven't seen each other in years, so we can catch up.
Excellent time to catch up with one another.
Yeah, it gives us an opportunity to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to brag, but I happen to be an expert wilderness explorer, so I can kind of help lead the way.
Let me change this song. This is kind of a weird song here. There we go.
Yeah, that's when we're running into something scary.
Right. That's coming up. That's not quite here yet.
Yeah.
There we go. So you head off into the woods. Much of the area between the fort and the domain of the Mander Witch is thick woods in full summer bloom. As the afternoon begins to build as the sun heads down into the west, you can hear the sound of birds. And Zoah, a strange sense begins to fall over you. You can't help but wonder if you ain't being watched by something. Go ahead and give me a roll, maybe a reconnaissance roll, if you got any skill that might help you with that. Let me pull up your sheet. Let's take a look. So how about identifying or assessing danger? I think it'd be a good skill there.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Okay, so I'll give you a roll.
This is a difficulty, a level 4 roll. So you're going to need to... Oh, that ain't going to do it.
No.
So you get the sense that something or someone is following you. Ossie, give me a roll. This is going to be like a perception roll. And it is something magical if you've got any skills in that regard.
Yeah, I am specialized in understanding magic.
So specialized means it eases it by 2 levels. So this will reduce the task by 2. And this will be an intellect roll. You can spend effort or you can make the roll. I have not told you what the difficulty is for a reason. I'm going to let you decide if you think you need to spend effort or if you just trust your specialization to get you through.
I think I'm going to use effort.
Okay, so if you spend effort, that will cost you 3 points of intellect, but then you have an edge of 1, so you'll get 1 point back. So it just costs you 2.
Okay.
That's going to reduce your task by an additional level. So if you want to make a roll, I'll tell you now, you only need a 3 or higher.
Awesome. Watch me roll a 1.
Oh, don't jinx it. A 16, excellent.
Nice.
You hear an almost human scream far off into the woods. You smell rotten eggs. You look off into the distance, and soon you see a great shaggy beast lumbering through the trees. The sounds, the scents, and the sights bring back a memory for each one of you, one that you had mostly forgotten, of running through the woods from this creature once when you were exploring as children. This is a white thing, and it terrified you so badly you stopped coming to the fort for a time. It does not seem to have noticed you, Ossie, but it seems to be heading towards your party. But you see it sure as day.
Do we see it too?
You can give me a perception roll if you're skilled in identifying magic. I'll give you a bonus on that. If Ossie tells you about it, that will ease it by 1 level as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Ossie will mention something.
I'm also trained in perception and sensing danger. What do you
Perfect.
think?
So that's going to reduce it by 2 levels.
And then 3 with Ossie.
Yep. So, Eavey, you are busy checking the woods for squirrel. You know that Zoah's got a trap, and you're looking for a spot where maybe you could get something for your supper. However, W.E., you see Ossie looking nervously through the woods, and you peer as well. And you see fog off in the distance, but then, sure enough, you see shape moving within the fog. And then you see that face of that white thing, that strange creature. And it transports you back to when you were a child, and you have a horrible memory that you had basically locked away of this beast. And it all comes back to you now. What's some details of that memory?
Well, probably reminds me of being stalked by this beast when I'd come to our fort, and probably
you came out to the
so-
fort
so-
one time by yourself. You thought maybe you would clean it up a bit and do something nice for your friends. And when you were out there, you heard this screech, and you thought, what a strange bird could that be? And then you heard the rustle, and you saw this long-legged thing walking through the clearing, coming towards you. And you hid by that rabbit-shaped rock, hoping and praying that it would not notice you or catch your scent. And that thing walked through the clearing, walked around you, every step getting closer and closer. But whatever magic was held in that rock protected you for a time. But it does not protect you now, as I send you GM intrusion.
So I have an ability to throw salt, and this is when something bad happens, you act on your beliefs to dispel it. Once after each 10-hour recovery roll, you can refuse a GM intrusion without spending XP.
So you have not had a 10-hour recovery roll yet, but I really like this. So you can refuse this if you want. You want to refuse this intrusion? It won't cost you an XP.
Yes, I'll just throw some salt over my shoulder and shake off whatever fear I might have been feeling.
Well done. That was actually a really good use of that skill. So you know that now you're a man. You're no longer a boy. And whatever sway this thing held over you is lessened by that. And you toss that salt over your shoulder as the beast begins to drift its head from side to side, attempting to catch your scent. Let me pull everyone into a scene here. We're going to make an initiative roll. So for initiative, that's going to be a speed roll. And if you're trained in initiative, you will get, you'll ease that task by 1. One of you, I think it's Eavey, has danger sense, which
I do.
Perfect. So you would spend a speed point, but you get that right back because of your edge. But if you want, you can spend effort on your initiative roll, in which case that would cost you 3 plus 1 for your danger sense. You get one of those back. So for 3 speed points, you get to ease this task by 2. I am going to warn you, this thing is high level. So, we're going to make initiative rolls. It's going to be speed rolls. If you want to spend effort, just let me know. Mark those points off. Oh!
I'm just gonna use my danger sense.
Your danger sense? So, then which case, Eavey? Oh, Eavey, you missed it by 1. You would have needed a 15. This is a level 6 monster. But,
wow!
But Zoah, you got a natural 20. So not only... and did you spend any effort, Zoah? Because if you did, you'll get those points back.
No.
Perfect. So you will get to go first. So I'm just going to kind of put us in initiative order up here at the top of the screen. So Zoah, the Beast, and then we're going to go Eavey, Ossie, and WE. Zoah, you get to go first as you see this creature lumbering towards you.
I guess my first instinct would be to probably take a shot at it.
Go ahead and make a speed attack roll. If you are, I don't think you've got any. Let's see. Let me just see what weapon you've got here. You got your rifle, so it's medium. That'll do 4 points of damage.
Yeah.
You can spend effort on your speed roll to try and ease this task, or you can spend effort to try and do more damage. This is a level 6. That means you just, if you don't modify it, you need an 18 or higher.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, if I do modify it, it's still going to be tough.
Yeah, still make it a 15.
Yeah.
One thing that you guys can do is you can work together. If someone, for their action, they can help another, that will ease the task by 1. So if someone thinks, gosh, I can't do anything, just say you're helping someone else. That'll ease their task, make it 1 level easier. If you want to try and take your shot, you just got to beat an 18.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if it's even worth trying to like come out and straight out fight this thing.
You could also run, absolutely.
I might do go back to that old like. I have a memory of running away from this thing, so maybe I'll just
Why don't you
do that. Cause
tell me a little bit about that memory, as though this were a flashback. If we were watching a movie, all of a sudden we would see a young Zoah running away from this. Tell me how you first encountered this as a child.
well, as a child, I just saw it like going by, and I hid and I froze, and it didn't notice me. But then I would have like dreams about it later on, and it was chasing me. And I was running away.
In your dreams, you are ever being chased. It never quite catches you, but you can never get away from it. And now that dream has become a reality. Do you run?
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
Give me a speed roll. This is just to make sure you, and if you have anything that helps you, like through difficult terrain, there's kind of some brush and thick foliage around here. I know one of you has something that helps with that. It might be WE. No, maybe,
unless it's.
maybe it is
I
used.
was gonna say I got like got some mapping, or like identify assessing dangers.
So your Wilderness Explorer ability says while taking any action in the natural world, you ignore all penalties due to natural causes. So that's going to ease this task by 1 as you're trying to get away. That's also going to be fighting. If you're fighting in the woods, you're going to have an advantage. So if you do want to attack, that is going to ease your task by 1 level.
I think running might be the best option at this point.
Yeah, give me a speed roll, and you'll ease that level by 1. If you can beat a 15, you're gonna be in the clear. But if you can't, there's a chance he's gonna pursue. This is like a great cat or a bear. This is a pursuit predator. And upon hearing you bolt through the woods, its eyes instantly find you, and it begins to run, almost like a great horse, galloping through the woods, crashing through trees and brambles. Eavey, your turn.
Yes. So this counts as an animal?
This would be an animal.
So I'm gonna use my poke bag of charm animal.
Okay.
I tuck it into my shoe while saying I am a friend to all animals and they to me.
So for the next 10 minutes, all interactions with this are eased by 2 steps. Well done.
Yes.
I'm just going to archive that. Okay, so what do you propose to do? It will ease it by 2 steps.
Yeah. I don't think I'm in melee range of that thing.
You are not. It is sprinting past you. If you want, you could sprint up if you want to try and tackle it or attack it. It is large. It'd be like tackling an elk or a horse.
I was thinking of getting out my shotgun and taking a shot at it.
You can definitely do that. Before we do that, tell me about your first encounter with this white thing when you were a child.
I was seeing my friends being pursued, and I felt protective towards them, so I put myself in front. And
that's exactly what Eavey would do, based on your character description, because you get rough and rowdy. You're a protector, and so you're gonna try and get in the way to deflect this thing from chasing Zoah.
And that's the same thing that I'm doing tonight. Yeah.
Perfect. So if you want to go ahead and make a roll, your task is going to be eased by 2.
Oh, damn it.
Not quite. Nice try. I liked it, but the roll was not with you. And
I mean, it's running, so it's hard to.
So
it's hard to aim at a running creature.
Absolutely. And as you fire, I'm gonna drop this on the board here.
No. Oh no! I have no choice. I think
you have no choice. You have to take it. But as you fire, you miss. But you see some of those pellets strike your friend Zoah in the leg. And Zoah, you're going to need to make a speed defense roll. She rolled really poorly, so you just need to beat a level 1. So you just need to make a speed defense roll and beat a 3. And if you're trained in speed defense, you'll automatically get out of the way. Oh, excellent. So those pellets strike your backpack, and you have a little leg bag. It hits that, and you feel the impact of that buckshot as it hits that. It spins you around a little bit, but you remain on your feet, and for an instant you have a thought of this great thing's claw raking across your leg, and it spurns you on even more, unaware that was your friend Eavey that just accidentally hit
Shot
you.
me in the leg.
Shot you in the leg. But now both you and Eavey have an experience point that you can use that for a free reroll or to reject a GM intrusion. We go to Ossie Birch. Ossie, in your ghostly form, you've already relived your memory with this great white thing. Tell me how you act. What do? You see Zoah running, the beast chasing, Eavey firing and missing.
Well, it was just another day in the woods, and I was sort of relaxing, just sitting by the rock, taking in the sounds and feelings of nature when I feel this great, trampling. I can feel it and I can hear it shaking the ground, and I look further on and I see this great white beast, and I know I have to get out of there.
So how did you escape as a child from this beast?
Well, at first I was frozen, just looking on at this being of pure white, and then I hear the sounds of my friends running for their lives, and I realize I have to follow them, so I start running too.
So you're chasing after them?
Yes.
Give me a speed roll. You're kind of maneuvering through some of these woods just to make sure you don't get lost behind or lost in the woods as you're all pursuing. You want to maintain your pace with them. That'll be a speed roll. You run, and even though you are insubstantial as a ghost, it feels as though you're running in molasses. Your legs are heavy, and every nightmare you've had as a child trying to run away from something horrible, it feels as though your legs simply do not want to work, and now you're experiencing that in real life, and it is difficult for you to try and run and keep up because your legs simply refuse to answer the call. You're walking, you're jogging, you're sprinting, you're slowing back to a walk. Every step is a struggle as the fear of that great white thing sinks deep into you. W.E. Whaley, your turn.
Well, I'm going to follow suit and follow after my friends, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to while I'm thinking of this bad memory of this beast, I'm going to try and block it out and spend 2 intellect points to use my ability, Ribbons of Darkness.
Tell me what that does.
So that is going to, for the next minute, darkness condenses within an area with long range that is no bigger than an immediate distance in diameter.
So let me stop you there. So long range is going to be up to like 100 feet, and an immediate distance is like 10-15 feet. So it's going to be about a 10 or 15 foot area up to 100 feet away. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to manifest this around the beast, because then all its tasks attempted by the creature will be hindered, and leaving the area requires the creature's entire action to move.
Perfect. So that'll take your action, so that's going to cost you 2 intellect points. You do not have an edge, so take those 2 away. And because you are superstitious and cannot escape the darkness, this is the darkness. These ribbons of black light swirl around this beast, and the beast is stunned momentarily, and it stops its pursuit and turns its head, gnashing at these ribbons and slashing at them with its claws. You have it momentarily distracted. We're going to go back to Zoah. And well done, by the way, W.E. Zoah, it's your turn. You know that something has happened because you hear the growl and the snarl of this beast getting further and further away, and if you glance a look back over your shoulder, you see this cloud of darkness that has fallen down upon it, and the beast is trying to extricate itself from there. You've got a little bit of respite. What do you do in this moment?
What about using my witch ball?
I like it. Let me just pull that up. I'll take a peek at that as well. So your witch ball. You wrap a few of your hairs around the ball, press them into the wax, and throw it at a foe up to a long distance away, which this would. It will explode, inflicting 4 points of shrapnel damage to all creatures and objects. You would be able to do that if you wanna throw that.
Yeah, I'll throw that.
That's going to be either a might or a speed roll to get that. That thing is hindered because of the darkness, which makes your task easier.
I'll do a might, and then
You want to spend
I'd
some
like
effort
to,
on that?
yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
I have a 1 edge,
So that will only cost you 2 points.
and then can I lower it down like twice?
So you'd have to have
Use
an
4.
effort of 2 in order to lower it twice, and you only have an effort of 1. So that will lower it
that's
1.
right. Yeah.
It's lowered 1 because of the darkness, and
I'm a rookie.
well, hey, you know, we all gotta learn it. So you're doing great. So you just
No, I'm
need-
just saying my character. That's why I have the 1 effort.
right. Yeah, you're tier 1, and you know,
Yeah.
as you progress, you'll get slightly better at these things. Right now, that's going to be
Okay.
a difficulty 4.
Yeah, and I'll use the 2 might.
Yep. So go ahead and reduce your might by
back
2. Then you just need to
All right.
roll a 12 or higher. Okay, you have an XP. If you want, you can re-roll that. It'll cost you that XP to re-roll it.
Yeah, let me roll that.
Okay. Oh!
And I roll worse.
So you throw this witch ball. Now, since you're using a Cypher, I'm not a fan of a Cypher doing nothing. So it's still going to have an effect, but it's going to have half of an effect. And so it's only going to do half of what it would normally do. Because, you know, you're using a powerful thing, it just kind of sucks if it does nothing. So your witch ball does take effect. As you wrap a few hairs around that wax ball and you throw it at that white thing, and it takes some damage. And you can see it recoil from that magic. And Ossie, you in particular, with your understanding of magic, you recognize that magic seemed to do harm to that beast. It's the beast's turn. It's going to take its entire turn to get out of that darkness. So it can do nothing. Eavey, we're back to you. The beast has stopped. This is going to be a little bit of an easier shot if you want to take a shot at it.
Yeah, exactly what I'm gonna do.
So it'll be a 15. Ooh. If you want to spend
But,
an XP, you can re-roll it. Oh no, you did your thing that eases it by 2 levels. You're right. So
Yeah.
that's a hit. And so how much does your shotgun do?
It does. Hang on, I had it here.
It's either 4 or 6. I think it's
Yeah,
4.
it's a 4.
And this
Yeah.
thing has a little bit of armor, but it still takes the hit. It's not quite half. It's down about 2/3. Ossie Birch, you're lagging behind, but you can hear
Wait,
your friends.
say something to it. You won't touch my friends.
Excellent. So do you maybe call it so that it leaves Zoah alone and maybe comes at you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Ossie, your turn.
So I know that I'm not the fastest person in the world, so maybe running after it is not the best choice for me. But I do have the ability Shake the Bones, which says, my words are so powerful they cause the bones of a creature to shudder and shake, inflicting 2 points of might damage and 2 points of intellect damage.
What do you say? And so that's going to cost you 1 intellect point. Now, here's something that you can do. So you can spend effort on this as well, if you choose to make this a little easier, because you are still going to have to make a roll. Anytime you try and affect something else and that it maybe doesn't want it, you have to make a roll for that. So you'll have to make a roll for this. Because you are specialized in understanding magic, and this is a magical creature, that's going to ease that by 2 levels. If you want to spend a level of effort of intellect, it'll ease it by 3 levels, and it's still kind of in that dark cloud. So right now you only have to beat a 9 or higher. If you spend a level of effort, it'd be a 6 or higher.
Yeah, I'll spend effort.
So, and that's going to be intellect effort. So it's going to cost you 1 point to do shake the bones, 3 for your effort. So it'll cost you 4, and you get 1 back. So 3 total points. And then go ahead and roll, and you need a 6 or higher.
And that's an intellect
roll. Yeah.
Really?
Oh man.
Oh no.
Can I like re-roll that?
If you have an experience point, you can re-roll it. I don't believe you have one.
Okay.
What words did you use?
Well, I stop in my tracks and I yell out to the creature, "How dare you hinder our mission? How dare you come after my friends? You've already caused us enough trouble."
I'm going to bring out an intrusion. You have to accept that. Let me give it to you here, and then you can give an XP to someone else. It's going to, at sensing that magical attack that you and Eavey are both threatening it. Being a creature of magic, it is impelled to go after you before Eavey, because you seem to have called it towards you using magic. And it turns and leaves Zoah and begins to scramble towards the two of you. W.E., the beast has turned and is now headed in your direction. What do you do?
Well, I would like to take my weapon oil and apply it to my machete.
Okay, so your weapon oil is a Cypher. And you anoint your weapon for the next 70 minutes. It deals bonus cold damage, it'll deal an additional 7 points of cold damage, which is fantastic. So you you rub this tincture made of pine sap and fresh tears on your machete, and you head up and you're going to swing with all your might. You can either do a speed roll if you're trying to be quick, or a might roll if you're just bringing it right down on top of the beast. I'll let you decide. And if you want to spend effort, you can.
I will make this a might roll and spend some effort.
Okay. Because you spent effort, you needed a 15. That succeeds. So how much damage does your machete do? Does it do 4?
So my machete does 4 damage, plus the 7 damage from my weapon oil.
Minus the armor of this creature, it is nearly down. Just to give you a heads up, it's down to 3 hit points.
Okay.
Zoah, the thing turned around. It's heading right towards Ossie, your friend. It's showing you its back. What do you do?
And that's me?
Yep, that's you, Zoah.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a shot at it.
Excellent.
With the rifle.
Because it's showing you its and because it's showing you its back, that's going to ease your task by 1. It's ignoring you for the moment. So that'll be a 15 or higher.
Okay, then I'll take.
If you use a level of effort, that'll make it a 12 or higher.
Yeah, I'll do a level of effort.
Perfect.
Okay. And cross my fingers.
Here we go. Oh man, it looked like it was going to make it. Do you have an XP to reroll that?
No, I used it already.
All right. Well, it's gonna
like a double miss another roll.
I know, right? It's gonna fall upon Ossie, this white thing, this devil dog. Its hair matted and unkempt. It does 3 attacks per round, once with a bite and twice with its front claws, inflicting intellect damage. You need to make an intellect defense roll. The difficulty level is 6.
I'm gonna die 3 times.
What's your intellect defense? Do you have intellect defense?
No.
You can spend effort if you want, intellect effort, to try and protect yourself from it. If I look at your skills, yep, you do not have that. You have a Cypher. Look in your Cyphers. You've got Mournful Call. A sad cry like the call of a loon before dawn. The response goes unanswered except for those attuned to hear it. And your next intellect task would be eased by 3 steps.
Could I Could I say I help by jumping in front of it?
Yes, you can do that. So that's going to make your task one level easier. So it's normally a 6. With Eavey's help, will be a level 5. Do you want to spend your Cypher, make it a level 2 defense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me take that Cypher off. So you hear this mournful call come through the woods. It's a high, lonesome sound. Eavey leaps in front of the beast. You need to make a roll. You need to get a 6 or higher. Okay. Yeah, so you step aside as Eavey tries to distract and take the full brunt of this beast. Eavey, it's your turn now. Oh,
Okay.
If you want to take an action, because you kind of moved a little bit, I'm going to say that it hinders whatever your next task is by 1 level. But you probably helped Ossie not get destroyed, so I think it was a good trade-off.
I'm still gonna try and do this. Oh, well.
Well, you're going to try to do that. Is that another shotgun blast?
No, that was a fist.
A fist, excellent. So you ease the task by 2 levels, then you get 1 back. You still needed a 15 or higher. Your fist.
I have an XP.
Do you want to spend that XP?
Yeah. I'm gonna spend that XP.
Perfect. Oh man, that's worse. You're stealing Tommy's rolls here. I know.
Now.
That's when you want to roll low. Here you want to roll high. You swing your fist and it makes contact with the matted, nasty, nappy fur of this beast, and it's cold. That chilling blow from W.E.'s machete has sent a chill over this entire thing, and your blow lands harmless against it.
Yeah, but
Ossie, your turn. Can you destroy this creature? You want to try and do your shake the bones again?
Yeah, sure.
That was a pretty cool thing. So that'll cost you 1. You'll get 1 level back because it's engaged with Eavey. She distracted it. So then you just need to roll a 15 or higher unless you want to spend effort.
Ooh.
Oh!
Here we go!
Did you spend effort? If you did, you get your points back. Did you spend effort on that roll?
Yes.
You did? Okay, then you'll get... so it would have cost you 3 points. You would have got 2 back. So you get the other 2... Or 1 back from your edge. You get the other 2 back. And you can do either a major effect, or you can do an additional 4 points of damage. If you do the 4 points of damage, you'll take it out.
I'll do the damage.
There we go, there we go. That would be the right answer. And this creature is dead.
Awesome.
So you have destroyed this creature that has haunted all of y'all's dreams and nightmares for a long, long time. And now that it has been destroyed, you look down and you see that it is not all that you thought it was. In fact, it begins to turn into a mist and slowly eke back into the mist of the woods, becoming dew on the tree, on the leaves, on the ground. And that dew will nurture those trees and allow the forest to go on living. If you want to spend some time here to do a rest, you can do a round rest. It takes 1 round, and you will make a recovery roll, which right now for everyone is 1d6 plus 1. You can just click that button on your character sheet, and you can restore those points to any pool that you desire. So that would be your first rest. Your second rest would take 10 minutes, your next one 1 hour, your last one 10 hours, and then it's a new day.
Can we take that break?
Yep, you want to do the break right now?
Yeah.
Yep, let's go ahead. Let's take a 5-minute break, and we will be back soon.
rescue the princess from the evil goblin. I ignore all the signs of impending danger because I'm a fighter and not some crappy ranger. 47 hit points and a high dexterity, 17 for strength. Kobolds are afraid of me, crafted from numbers on living paper. I escape from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. I locate the lair, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. A win in a battle, hewing foes asunder. Deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon, try to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I roll 20. The dragon goes down, the DM no bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern, where my mighty tale unfolds.
Yeah, running away. I'm not doing anything. I guess I'm a small animal trapper, but more than anything.
All right, is everybody back?
Yep. back.
I don't know if Miss Pick is back.
Miss Pick, are you and Henrik back?
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Henrik, you here?
No, I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. So, it's late afternoon by the time you finish up with this beast, this devil dog. You spend a moment to recover from your injuries. Those of you that did make recovery rolls, you can just add those points. Ossie, you can regain 2 points to any pool. WE 4 points, and Zoah 4 points. This is a decent enough place to make a camp if you want to choose to camp here, or you can continue on into the woods a stretch.
How is everybody faring? Should we go forward, or do y'all want to rest?
Well, sounds like it's a good spot. We might want to, now that we know we've cleared out whatever dangers in the area, and I was probably keeping other dangers out. This might not be a bad place to stop. I could set up my traps.
Yeah, let's. If we want to set up camp here, let's maybe make a few rolls to make sure that we do have a nice, safe spot. If anyone wants to do that roll, it would be a might roll if you're trying to prepare an area for an encampment. If anyone has any skills or any assets that may help them to do with camping. Oh, excellent. Well, that Eavey is. Yeah, you find like a Holiday Inn over here in the woods. That was an excellent roll. Maybe you find a nice little hill that's got some flat spots with some pine branches that will make it a comfortable place to sleep, and there's a little cleared area you could set up a fire ring without any problem. Zoah, if you want to go out and set some traps, you can give me an intellect roll to find a good spot to try and catch something. You got the possibility of squirrels, or maybe a rabbit, maybe something larger.
Maybe no.
Yeah, you'd be able to catch something small. That's a good enough roll to beat the intelligence of a squirrel or a rabbit, but probably not going to bring down anything much larger than that. You have your trap set out, and it takes some time, but as you are quietly contemplating and maybe calling in something, you see a small squirrel begin to approach, and as it gets closer and closer, you anticipate the springing of the trap, and then sure enough, within moments, the trap closes shut on this squirrel. You dispatch it with ease, being mindful of ending the suffering of this creature. As you are cleaning up this squirrel, you notice a small stone on the ground. I'm going to add something to your inventory. It's a new cipher. You find a hagstone, a stone with a hole in the center of it. Now, Eavey, you have been setting up camp, spending time finding just the right place for everyone to rest, to bring comfort to them. As you are doing this, you glance around the clearing, you hear the call of a bird, and as you look up to identify it, you wonder what this bird could be. And you happen to notice something as well. You notice an old, dirty jar. This jar is filled with a mixture of dirt, ant eggs, lye, gunpowder, and 7 nails. This is a circle of safety, and I'm going to add that to your character sheet. Ossie, you used a cipher as well. As you make a high, lonesome sound, you know just how effective that can be, and so your ciphers are not physical, since you're a ghost, you're insubstantial. Yours is going to be that mournful call. It's going to come back to you, and you will have access to use that cipher again.
Awesome.
And let's bring a cipher for WE, I believe.
And I think WE is going to perhaps go attempt some fishing if there's a little body of water nearby.
Well, give me an intellect roll to try and find a creek, and if you have any skills that might help you with that. Oh yeah, nice. You do.
Got a big one.
You did. You find a log half submerged in a small creek of water, and you know that if you were a fish, a big fish, that's where you would live. And you cast your line out. Describe for me briefly how you capture this fish.
Well, I think I was probably just had a bit of cheese on there for bait, and dropped it right down in there, and I don't have a fishing pole, so I just probably got the line tied to a branch or something, and I'm just wrapping it around my arm, pulling the line in slowly.
It fights you for a moment, and then you begin to pull it in with ease, almost as though it is willing to come to you, as though it has spent its entire life living under this log, waiting for this moment when you would come and take it. And as you capture it, it lays in your hands, and it looks at you with a strange wisdom for a fish. But as you cut it open, you discover why. There's something special about this fish. It has swallowed something. It's now in your inventory, called a charm of reversal. This something is a carved stick from the sunny side of an oak strung on a red thread. This may have been some sort of lure that someone used once upon a time to catch this fish. You know that if you wear this charm around your neck, the next time you're attacked, it protects you from the damage and inflicts it back upon your attacker instead. You've got a fish now, you've got a squirrel, you've got a wonderful campsite. Ossie, what are you doing with the time as the others are going about these manual tasks?
Well, I suppose I would just be playing a little song on my fiddle. I don't think I can really do anything else.
Does this song have a name?
I think I would call it maybe the Rabbit Rock Ditty.
The Rabbit Rock Ditty. This is a song you wrote when you were but a child. You have not played it in 15 years. Yet it comes back to you as easy as breath comes into your body. And as you play this song, each and every one of your friends lets out a smile at a shared memory of better times. And as you enjoy that fish and that squirrel around this campsite, the woods grow still and quiet, as though some evil has left these woods, been replaced by that mist as that beast went back into the green from whence it came. If any of you need to make another recovery roll, you may recover as much as you like, as we're going to fast forward to the next day.
So we can just recover all our points then?
You'd be able to recover all your points, yes. That is correct.
For my ability to throw salt, would this then refresh that ability?
That would refresh, correct.
Because it says one after each 10-hour recovery roll.
Yep. But so this would be a 10-hour. Because I assume we're gonna sleep here. Does anyone keep watch that night, or do you all sleep comfortably under the stars?
I can keep watch.
Yeah, Ossie probably doesn't need to sleep.
Yeah.
Even if I know that Ossie is keeping watch, I'm doing it as well. I just feel better keeping an eye on my friends.
Yeah, I can keep you company.
Yeah, and I can catch up with Ossie after all these years.
Yeah.
As you are spending time resting under the stars, digesting that wonderful meal that you had, you think about what might lie ahead. The home of the Mander Witch. Somehow she's gone missing. You need to find her and get her to convince the river to prevent the building of that dam. Her home likely lies another day and a half journey away. But for now, all is peaceful and easy.
I turn around to Ossie and I say, I wish we could have catch up while you were still alive. I feel bad about that.
It's true, but now we have the chance, and I would not give this chance up.
Me neither.
Wonderful. Dawn breaks, and perhaps W.E. goes down to try and catch a fish for breakfast?
Yeah, I can give it another shot now that I know there's a creek around here.
Yeah, you head back to that creek. You try a different spot. You know that whatever great fish you pulled from the river, that spot is likely empty until someone else comes to claim it. So you head a little further south along that river. Give me an intellect roll to find a good fishing spot. If you have any skills that might help you there, or any assets, you can roll that.
Not really.
You find a few spots, and you try for roughly an hour. And Just nothing seems to be biting. And you continue on down the river. You don't want to be gone too long because you know that time is pressing.
I think that big fish I caught ate all the other fish in the...
It likely did. It likely was king of this entire aquatic domain. But you come across the remains of some sort of contraption in the woods. A big copper pot with a spiraling copper tube coming off the top. You recognize this. Do you know what this is?
Probably a still.
It's a still. Do you go and avail yourself of what might be near there? You know this is where moonshine is made. And during this age of prohibition, the only way to get a drink is to make it yourself or find someone that'll make it for you.
Well, does it look like there's someone around here?
Well, you could give me an intellect roll to maybe scout out the area. If you have any skills that may help you, that will ease the task.
I have a skill in perception and sensing danger.
Yeah, so that'll ease it by 1 level. So the 20 would have been great, but an 8 will work because of your skill. This was a level 3 task, so you needed a 9, but you reduce it by 1, so you just needed a 6. Sure enough, you see fresh boot prints, and before long you hear someone chopping wood not but 70 yards from this still, off in the woods. And as you look, you see a figure. You see this man. He's over chopping away at some wood, probably about to start a fire to burn some more mash and make some more moonshine. Now, what do you think that W.E., what would his response be, or what would he know about stumbling across a moonshiner in the woods? Is that likely going to be something positive or negative, or how do you think that's going to go?
Well, I think W.E. would be, well, first suspicious, but also he'd know this might mean trouble, so he might just give it a wide berth.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll to see if you can get away from there without causing any undue noise. That's going to be a speed roll. And if you're trained in stealth or anything that may help you there,
I'm trained in speed defense.
that's not going to come into play here. So it'll be a difficulty 3. You need a 9 or higher. Do you have an XP, or do you want to just stick with the 8?
I'll just stick with it.
As you turn to leave, unfortunately a branch crackles underneath your foot. And you stop and you hear a voice call out, "Who's there? Friend or foe?"
I'll call back out. I'm just passing through. I mean, you know, trouble.
"This here still's mine."
That's all right. I was just following the creek, looking for fish. I don't mean you any trouble.
The man looks at your fishing pole, the state of you. "You don't look like no federal agent. Come on over, have yourself a taste. This is my special variety out here. This water grows clear and clean, makes the best shine there is in these parts. Come on over, friend." And he pulls a little mason jar out of his bag. You see it swirling with a clear liquid.
Well, not wanting to offend him, I'll try his craft and offer to maybe help him chop wood. I heard him chopping wood, so I can do that in return.
So you do drink the moonshine?
Yeah, just a little bit, just not to offend him.
Give me an intellect roll, or this is going to affect you adversely because it is very strong stuff. Yeah, you needed to beat a 9 and you got it. So you take a little sip back of this Mountain Dew and realize this is potent stuff. That this is not only some of the best shine you've ever had, but as you wipe your mouth clear, you think, "This has improved my sight. The whole world seems brighter, more clear. This man is a wizard amongst those alchemists who turn corn and mash into drink." And you go over and help him to chop wood and gather bits of kindling for his fire. Give me a might roll as you do this.
And can I use my machete to ease that?
That'll ease the task by 1, which is good because you would as a level 3, so you needed a 6 or higher if you use your machete. This man gets to talking to you. Jesse's my name. What do they call you, friend?
Well, my name's W.E. Whaley.
What does the W.E. stand for?
Well, I'm not quite sure. It's been so long, I've just gone by that and I forgot.
Your parents named you W.E.?
Well, it would seem so.
God darn it. They must have liked the shine more than I do. Tell me, what brings you out here to these parts? This here is remote.
Well, I got some friends ways up the creek. We camped out there last night, and we're just heading through.
Where are you headed to?
Well, to be honest, I don't quite remember. I just following along, going with the group.
Do you, as a player, remember the name of the town you're headed to?
I don't remember the name of the town.
The name of the town is Langley. There was the Langley Coal Company that wants to build that dam. You headed somewhere around here? I give you directions. I'm from these parts.
Well, I think we're headed somewhere out to some place called Langley.
Langley? Well, it's a quiet little town. Although there's been a lot of people come and go and trying to get started on that dam. People there are divided, saying the dam will bring all kinds of industry to the area. Others say the entirety of Langley is going to get swept away by the change in the river. I ain't got no love for that LC and NC. That company brought people in from out of town to try and keep the dissenters in line. That doesn't seem legal. Of course, shining ain't legal neither. And he chuckles as he takes another drink from his moonshine. Friend, if you go out there, you best be careful around that river. It's been wild. Tipping boats, making it hard for them workers to get started on the dam. But the last day or two, it's been awful quiet. They say there's a woman that can speak to the river. That's just folk tales, you ask me. And he passes you the mason jar, offering you up another drink.
Well, I will do my best to be polite about it and then bid him good day and head back to the camp.
Friend, take this with you. And he hands you the mason jar. It's about half full of moonshine. This may come in handy. You never know when you might need a drop.
I appreciate that, and perhaps in return I have a bit of that fish meat left over, and I'll give him just a little bit to eat.
He gobbles it down eagerly, and you notice then that he's only got but 3 teeth left in his mouth. But that's all he needs to eat that tender fish. You head back to camp, empty-handed except for a jar of shine. Do you share that with your campmates?
Yeah, I think I would.
Who do you pass it to first?
I will pass it to, well, I don't think Ossie can...
Yeah, poor Ossie's going to have to go without.
I know, I'm
So
missing out.
perhaps Zoah Green, I'll pass it to him.
Alright, so you pass it over to Zoah. And Zoah, you take the shine. Do you take a drink of it?
Oh, I guess I'll take a little swig.
Yeah, give me an intellect roll.
Alrighty. See how stupid it makes me?
Just don't roll a 1. Get a 3 or higher. So, for some reason it rolled 2, but both of them passed. So, you drink it, and, this is the hair of the dog first thing in the morning, but it seems to warm you up better than any campfire could. And the fact that there ain't no fish to go with it, you don't seem to mind. You pass it over to Eavey. Eavey, do you take a sip of this moonshine?
Oh, I take a big one.
Make an intellect roll for me.
A birthday sip?
Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh! That is perfect. All right, so boy, that couldn't have happened any better. You take that jar and you begin to sip, and you want to show your friends that you're made of tough stuff, and you throw that liquid fire down your throat, and it burns. And you get done, and you look, and your vision starts to go a little bit blurry, and You hear this thrumming in your ears, this sound that just kind of throbs and ebbs and flows. And you look at the bottle and it looks like your hand is just floating out into space. And you've never had alcohol afflict you to this degree with this rapidity before. But now that it's there, you can't help but feel emboldened, as though nothing will stop you from seeing that Rabbit's due is paid in full. You pass back what's left of the bottle. Ossie looks at it kind of dejected.
Oh.
And the intrusion that you're going to get, and if you have an XP, you can reject this, but I get to give you a free one because you rolled a 1.
No, I used it. So...
Your speed tasks for the next hour are going to be hindered by 1 level.
All right.
But that doesn't mean you don't think you're fast. You just aren't as fast as you think. You continue on the road, through the woods for a day, and then it opens up and you come across this scene. You come out of the woods and you see a dirt road and some train tracks. It looks like there's a train slowly coming your way. It's headed the way that you want to go.
This before.
Yeah. You may have seen this before. Do you want to try and catch that train, take the road, or continue on through the woods?
I'd like to catch that train.
Well, since the train's here, you don't need to make your railroading skill, because, hey, I know when the train's coming, guys. It's right there. But you are going to have to hop on that train. And train hopping is it's a skill that some of y'all might have. It's going to be a speed roll as that train comes by.
Of course.
Oh, drunky drunkster.
Yep. Who wants to get on first? I think, is it WE or Zoah? Are you the best? One or both of you is skilled in train hopping.
WE is skilled in train hopping.
Now, you will be able to help others. So you can use, if you're trained in a skill, you can aid someone else. That will ease their task by 1 level. That's you saying, hey, grab hold of here, don't touch there, that will cut your leg off, do this, don't do that kind of thing. So you'll be able to give people some assistance, but you'll need to get on first to show them how it's done. So if you want to make a roll, you're going to reduce that difficulty by 1. This is a speed roll.
I'll also spend
effort
points.
Okay.
So reduce it by 2.
Yep, if you have edge in there.
No, I mean reduce the difficulty.
Oh, yeah, so the difficulty will be reduced by 2. You got it.
All
so
right.
you kind of start walking alongside the train as it speeds up. You just kind of stick your foot out and catch one of the little step-down stairs on there and pull yourself up with your hands, and you look over and climb up behind one of the cars, kind of motioning for the others where to step and where to grab. Who's next up on the train?
I am.
I'll go. Okay.
All right, let's see what we got. Ooh. So that's eased by 1 because you've got help, but it's reduced by 1 because you are drunk.
Yeah.
And you needed a 6,
I
and
think
you got a 5.
I got it.
Yep,
I
think you
I
got it. You stick your foot up. You're like, this is it right here. But what happens is your foot gets caught on the stair, and you fall backwards and get drugged down the train for about 10 feet before your shoe slips off and your foot falls off the little metal step. You're going to take 3 points of might damage as you get drugged down the track. You don't feel it now. You'll feel it later, but you are going to lose a little. And you run to pick up your shoe. Zoah, you're up next. Maybe you help Eavey get back to her feet.
Does my armor protect me for that?
Yes, your armor will protect you 1 point for that. Thank you for reminding me. Well done.
Yep, I'll help her back up, so get her on her feet.
Perfect. And then you can go ahead and make your roll. That'll be eased by 1 level because of WE's skill. A good example.
I thought you were gonna say my skill.
Yeah, maybe Eavey showing you where not to step on there. Ooh, because it was E, so it was difficulty 3. It's reduced down to a 2. You needed a 6 or higher, and you got a 7. So you get up there.
Just made it.
Ossie, do you want to go?
Can I kind of?
Do you want to like lend a hand, try and help Eavey get up there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me try and kind of, when I get up there, like help hoist Eavey up.
Perfect. So Eavey, go ahead and make a roll. This is going to be eased by 2 levels. It's reduced by 1 because you're drunk, so you just need a 6 or higher. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Nice.
So Zoah pulls you up and kind of passes you off to WE, and he helps get you situated. Ossie, it's your turn. You're running alongside the train. Much easier to run now than when that white thing was in the woods. Go ahead and make a speed roll to get up there. You got it. You hop right up. Curiously, as you reach up for Zoah's hand, he is able to grab you. You're insubstantial, but he can grab your hand and aid you to pull you right up. And you both look at each other and wonder at how did that happen? And then as you go to put your hand on his shoulder, it passes right through. It seems as though in moments of great need, you're able to assist one another in the physical realm.
Huh.
You ride the train for roughly half a day. And as you're on the train, the landscape just strolls by. After several hours, you'll be able to get off, and you know that you're just going to be about an hour or two's walk from where you need to go. One thing you don't want to do is ride the train into Langley, where people are going to see you hop off, because then there's a good chance that the rail police may come after you. So WE would know when a good place to hop off would be. Getting off is pretty easy because the train's slowing down as it's coming into town. But you've got this.
Eavey, they have the railroading.
Yes,
deal.
Eavey.
Yeah.
So yes, that's right. So not WE, but Eavey. So I'll just have you make one roll, and if you can pass that, and this is thankfully not a speed roll. This is an intellect roll. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, you know just the spot. You know there's a bend up ahead, and when that bend happens, there's going to be some soft. There's gravel all over, but there's going to be a little bit of patch of soft ground where it'd be easy to just kind of step off, and if you got to roll, you just roll right with the motion and easily get off.
We should go down right there.
So you pointed out to everyone, and everyone's able to hop off. I'm just going to have everyone just give me a speed roll. Just don't roll a 1. You just need to beat a 3. Don't roll a 1. If you there we go. And you are no longer drunk either, Eavey. So you got sobered up pretty quick getting drugged by that train. So everyone's able to hop off of the train without any difficulty. You continue along the walk towards the Mander Witch's house. Let me send you a picture. Right there. You see a small house.
The most comforting house ever.
Right? It looks totally fine. You see a small house along the widest part of the river. The woods stretch right up to tiptoe against the water, and inside that green rests the home of the Mander Witch, its long dock stretching out over the river like a tongue. When you arrive, the river is roiling, deep in protective mode.
I will take this time to mention to my companions that the man I met in the woods had said that the waters were dangerous to travel on right now.
And you see that to be true. In fact, as you begin to approach the house, the river begins to surge and the wind begins to whip around. You hear a voice of the wind telling you it will destroy you for taking away its friend and protector. And the river begins to lash out at you as the waves begin to rise up onto the shore and whip up against that dock. And the wind begins to blow even harder. And yet again that voice cries out, "You will be destroyed for what you've done to her." Now, Ossie, you know that this is a voice of a spirit, the spirit of the river. And as a spirit yourself, you may be able to communicate with the river.
Can I try doing that?
You can. That's going to be an intellect task. Have you got any skills that might assist you in this endeavor?
understanding magic, maybe.
There you go. So you're able to communicate with it, but you sense that it will not be calmed, not easily, and it demands something first. Basically, it was a level 4 task, and you rolled enough to beat a level 2, and so you weren't quite enough to get there. If you want to try again, you will have to spend effort.
Yeah.
Alternatively, like Xerxes of old, you can whip the river with a whip and see if you can bring it under your command.
I think I'll just spend effort.
Oh, probably the easiest way. So go ahead and make another roll to try and calm the river. So this is a level 4 task. If you spend effort, it'll make it a level 3 task. If you have anything else that may help you to calm the river, I encourage you to use that.
I also have Mystic Sense. It says you can sense whether there's something magical or mystical going on in situations.
Yes. So you can use that. I'm going to give you an asset for that because you recognize that the river is agitated and confused. And this anger seems misdirected. It's angry at you, but you get a sense that it doesn't know exactly who is to blame. And so that's going to ease it by 1 level. So you'll have to spend effort, which will cost you 3, but you get 1 back. And then go ahead and make a roll. You need to beat a level 2 task, 6 or higher. You got a 6, just on the money. The river begins to slowly calm. And it asks you, Ossie, if not you, then who? Who took the witch? Who did this?
I would think it was that, like, logging company, maybe.
The river says it was not a man, but some sort of creature of the wild. Something like a man, but not a man. Go into her house. I will grant you entrance. But be warned, my anger is only abated for a time. If you cannot find the Mandra Witch, I will lay waste to the town of Langley in retribution.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your momentary kindness.
So the rest of you can see Ossie talking out loud to the river, and it's a curious sight. And maybe Eavey kind of wonders if she's still drunk, seeing this happen. But those words calm the river, and it grows still and quiet. Now, Zoah, you look at the witch's house, and you notice that the door isn't just busted off. It's as if something far too wide and too tall for the doorway just walked through it, making the doorway itself even larger. Like in a cartoon, it just broke right through, and you almost see the shape of whatever it was that passed through there, and it's bigger than a man, taller and wider. And W.E., you see that the interior of the house shows signs of a struggle. Shelves and bottles are smashed. And Eavey, you see that there are what look like whip marks across some of the furnishings. Lashes with seared and scorched edges. Tables are overturned. Clearly signs of a struggle.
Do I sense anything, like, magical here?
Give me an intellect. This will be a perception task. And you can use your... If you have skills in sensing magic, you can use that to ease the task.
I think it was the Mystic Sense that I just used.
Perfect. You discover some strange items. And let me add them to your character sheet here. Let me open your sheet. Come on, open up, Ossie. you find a conjure card. This conjure card is like a playing card of sorts. Has a picture of a moth on it. This is a single card from a conjure card deck. These is used by a cartomancer, someone who reads fortunes in cards, in these playing cards. You know that this could be used in a pinch. However, you are only able to hold 2 ciphers. If you want to hold this, you'll have to give up one of your 2, either mournful call or shared grief.
I'll do shared grief.
Give up shared grief?
Yeah.
Perfect. You also find another. This is a strange item. It's a chicken feather brush, a handmade chicken feather brush with a turned maple handle. You could give this to someone else or keep it yourself, but to do so you'd have to give up one of your other ciphers. Or you can leave it here.
What does it do?
Give me an intellect roll. You need to beat a level 2 skill to determine what this does.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. You know that this brush is no ordinary brush, that you can brush the feathers across an object, such as a building, a cipher, a weapon, while asking for permission to know it, and you will learn 2 important and useful things about that object. Like had you passed that over the river, you may have learned why the river was upset and what you could do to calm it. Or if you pass it over, something else, a weapon or another card, or another cipher like that conjure card that you found, you would learn information about it. You want to keep that brush or give it to someone else and they can choose to discard a cipher and keep this? Does anyone want this?
It's a brush that'll tell us information, you're saying?
Yep, it'll give you 2 important and useful things about that object. Do you want that brush? You'd have to get rid of your acidify bag or your hagstone.
Maybe I'll do my, I'll take that brush and get rid of my hagstone, since,
Perfect.
it's an intellect edge, but I don't really have,
yeah, that's
magic.
not your strength, There, you've got the chicken feather brush in your equipment.
If anyone wants that hagstone, though, right?
Yeah, does
Can I
anyone?
give it to them?
Yep, if anyone wants the hagstone.
It'll increase your intellectual edge by 2 for a day.
I might actually take it. I have my Ribbons of Darkness ability that costs 2 intellect, so I think if I use that, then it would be free.
You can get rid of your Witch Ward or your Charm of Reversal, and I'll give you the hagstone.
I'll get rid of my Witch Ward.
Witch Ward?
Yes.
Okay, let me go find the hagstone. Right there. I'll pull that in. There, now you got the hagstone. All right. You see from the signs of struggle that there's a faint trail outside that goes north along the riverbed. It's going to be a task to try and follow it, but because you have a good relationship with the river, there's a chance it may help you. At least it'll help Ossie.
Yeah, let's follow it. It goes up north, you said?
Yeah, heads up north.
So it goes up. Yep. Sounds like since we need to find the Mander Witch,
Exactly.
that's the direction we need to go.
Ossie, do you want to make a roll to try and ask the river for help?
Sure.
Go ahead and make an intellect roll, and you'll get ease that task by 2. 1 because of your skills in magic, and 1 because you have befriended the river momentarily. So you need to beat a level 2, 6 or higher.
Oh, no.
Do you have an XP?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to spend it?
Yeah, why not?
Alright. Then go ahead and re-roll that. There you go. Okay. So, what do you ask the river? How do you phrase it?
Am I just like asking it to help us on the path?
Help to follow the path to help find the witch.
Okay. So I'll say, kind river, we have accepted your task in finding this witch, but in order to do this, we need some help from you, and if we have your help, we may find your witch.
The river churns for a moment. You see a little whirlpool begin to form, and then it eddies out and then slowly drifts away as though the river is contemplating how it can help. And then you see a fish, and the fish leaps in the air, and it seems to look at you for a moment, and it continues to leap in a direction. And if you pause to follow, you see the fish up at the top of the water, at the surface. You see its dorsal fin just resting there, as though it's waiting for you to follow this fish.
Yeah, I'll definitely follow.
As you advance towards it, the fish continues on, leading you along this trail, until it reaches a point where the fish dives down deep and does not return. But then a bird swoops down into the river to pick up a branch, and this crow flies into a tree, and you follow that bird as well. At points, the trail becomes wide and large, perhaps the same size as whatever went through the Mander Witch's house, has walked along here, snapping branches, leaving large, heavy-booted footprints. The woods are abuzz with flying insects, and there are thick, tawny brown mushrooms underfoot. I even went to the trouble to make a picture of the mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
You see a deer bounding off and hear the various calls of birds sounding alarm at your intrusion. You can likely continue on the trail for a stretch. You've got a moment here if you want to discuss any sort of strategy, or someone else wants to pick up the trail, because the birds seem to have left.
I have the ability find the way.
Perfect. So that's going to ease your task by 1 level. This is a level 3 task, so that'll just make it a level 2, so 6 or higher, and it's yours.
Alright.
Oh.
And of course not.
Do you have an XP by chance?
No, I don't.
Well, let's see. Good news is you're just about to get one. Let's see. Wrong button.
I feel like there's a bad news coming.
Is that good news?
Well, now you got an XP. You can go ahead on the chat bar. You can accept that and give an XP to someone else. As you are following this trail, you hear scratching coming up from the woods, and you see a black bear not far in the distance. And the bear,
A black bear?
a black bear, and the bear turns and lets out a snarl, as though warning you off of its presence. And then just off to the left, you hear the faint rustling grizzle of a small bear cub crying out to its mother. And the large black bear sprints directly at you. Let's all roll for initiative. If you are trained in speed defense, or which I think Eavey is, or sorry, trained in initiative, or if you have danger sense, or if you have both, each one of those is going to reduce this. The bear essentially rolled a 9, so you want to try and roll 9 or higher. But for Eavey, that's going to be a 3 or higher.
Wait,
Yeah,
if I
I have
have
a-
speed defense and danger sense, it's twice.
Or sorry, not speed defense. I thought you had... No, you don't have initiative. Someone has training in initiative.
I do have
Oh, it's WE. Okay, so WE, yours is eased once, and Eavey, yours is eased once. So you all both need to beat a 6. Everyone else needs to beat a 9. Oh, WE got a 9.
I have assessing danger. Would that have any?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let you use that as well. Ooh, Ossie.
Okay.
Not good, Ossie. Oh, not good.
Yikes.
And
I thought I had a 20.
it was so close, but that was all that you needed was that because you have danger sense. So
Alright.
WE and Eavey will go first. WE, you are up first. This bear is charging your position. What do you do?
I will get my machete out, but I know Black Bear would probably just get scared away. I don't think it'd really attack you, so I'm just going to try to make myself look big.
There is a cub in the bushes not far from you. So if you want to try and make yourself look big, like an intimidation, I'll give you a roll. That's going to be a might roll. And if you are trained in intimidation or anything that can make yourself appear more threatening, that will be an asset.
Yeah, I'll just wielding my machete, I suppose.
So with the machete, yeah. You know, it makes you a little taller, a little bigger. You're swishing the air. Phew.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, you scared that bear.
Okay, yes you did. So you get a major effect. You can chase that bear off if you choose.
Yeah, could maybe I chase it off and it helps guide us where we're going? Perhaps it...
The bear... Yeah, I like
Chases
that.
us in the right direction.
Yeah, it does. So the bear bolts, and the cub begins to run after its mother, crying. And then the cub stops about halfway and turns back and looks at you and rises up on its 2 back legs and snorts and begins to walk slowly off on what looks to be like a hidden game trail that you may not have noticed at first, but the cub knew exactly where it was. And the mother bear and the cub begins to lead you in the right direction. I like that. Well done. And let's see. After about 20 minutes of walking, the trail leads to what looks like an abandoned mine. The entrance is fairly large, wide enough for at least 3 people to walk abreast. Inside is absolutely pitch black. The only sound you hear is a faint whistling. Small clusters of brown mushrooms grow near the entrance.
Does anyone
Well,
have like a lantern?
I do. I have a lantern, and then I want to kind of, I guess, equip my acidify bag, which will give me +1 armor, and then any foes within immediate range will take 1 point of damage per round, as long as they stay in my range.
Excellent.
So that's a pretty good one.
That is a good one, yeah. And how long does that last?
But, for 1 day.
1 day? Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Excellent. Any other preparations? You're going to light the lantern?
Yeah, and then I'm just going to let everyone know, as you know, with my extensive knowledge of being an expert on listening to the podcast, that I'm assuming that whoever captured the witch probably is some connection with the company that's trying to build the dam, because that's usually how the stories go.
Give yourself 1 experience point for being on the money.
Oh, right on.
Part of this is a mystery, and you may have just solved that mystery. But now the question is, who is it?
Well, that's the advantage of listening to the podcast.
Yep, exactly. You did your homework. I'm going to put us all into the mine shaft. And let me pull out tokens just so we have them. It makes it easier to access your character sheet. There's Eavey and Ossie, WE, and Zoah. Who is going first into the mine shaft?
I am.
And of course Eavey would, because she is a protector, and she has no problem going in. The going is difficult. there is only a single shaft to follow, so there's no real chance of getting lost. However, it's pitch black, and only the light of your lantern affords you any glimpse of what is ahead. The walls and floor are rocky and jagged, and there are odd dips and hollows, so it's slow going. Ossie, you see something up ahead. No one else sees this or is privy to it, but you are. You see two ghostly figures up ahead. They see you, and they stand side by side and whisper, "You cannot pass through here. The way is blocked, according to the Master. Turn back, or be destroyed."
And who is the Master then?
He who wears 1,000 skins is the Master.
Well, we have business here, and we will not be stopped.
Then there is only one way this can end. And they step forward, reaching their hands out to try and grasp you. Their ghostly touch will be deadly to you and your friends.
I just got the Conjure card, Cypher, that gives 5 creatures all +3 armor against magical damage.
Okay? Do you want to use that?
Yeah.
So you pull out this little Conjure card. It has a picture of a moth on it, if I remember correctly. Let me just look at your Conjure card here. You bend the card with the moth facing out, and then fly it to touch yourself and up to 5 creatures within immediate range. All of you gain +3 to armor against magical damage for 1 hour.
I would like to do something as well.
What is that?
I have a circle of safety.
Excellent.
Which means that I spread the mixture in the circle surrounding an immediate area and light it on fire. The fire burns for 1 hour, creating a nearly impenetrable barrier. Creatures attempting to cross the fire take 5 points of damage and are forced to flee from the circle for 1 round. I must make a roll to see if the cipher affects the creature attempting to cross.
Perfect. So, do you want to get that set up as well?
Yeah.
So you open up that mason jar and pour out that mixture of church dirt, ant eggs, 7 nails, lye, gunpowder, and saltpeter. You spread a circle on the ground and light it with an old sulfur match. The fire burns, searing heat to those of a spectral or magical nature. Ossie, you feel this heat hotter than any normal fire. But you know that because this is created by a friend, that you will likely be unaffected by that damage. The ghosts halt and stand, content to stay back from those flames as they do not want to be burned. We can wait here, for the Master will be here soon. Your feeble magics will not halt him.
What's going on? Are you scared of coming forward now?
They are silent for a few moments, as though they don't want to admit that you have gotten the upper hand. And then one says, "Cyarn is coming." And one of them disappears deeper down into the shaft. Cyarn, C-Y-A-R-N. This name means nothing to you, but it seems to be a word of great power to these ghosts. And this other ghost seems to be content to wait it out, knowing that reinforcements will be coming. What do you do?
So the one already took off?
Yes. Unless you want to try and stop it. It's heading deeper down into the shaft.
Well, have we... So, I'm just curious what kind of ghosts these are. These just
So
mindless ones, or could we try and communicate with them?
you can. So Ossie can see them and can communicate with them fully, and you can hear their voices, but you cannot see them. You just sense a ghostly presence.
Okay.
You suspect that they would not take full damage from physical sources, but magical attacks or ciphers like this flame would harm them irrevocably. So they definitely want to stay back from this fire.
And I do have that ability active that any creature or enemy within range will take 1 point of damage automatically.
So that is correct because of your acidify bag. So let me. So he is going to, the one that's remaining recoils for a moment as that magical acidic energy courses through the flames, through the entire area, and striking him. And Ossie, you see him stagger back as though he just received a blow. And you can describe this to your friends, knowing that magical cipher seems to be pushing this ghost further and further away. And he drifts off until he is outside of the edge of the lantern light. Of course, Ossie can still see him, but you see that now he is out of range. But during that time, he's taken a few additional points of damage before he was able to get out of range. In fact, he looks like he's about half destroyed.
Nice.
Well, mess with me, ghost.
Yeah. You can try and press forward. You would leave the safety of that fire circle into the mine, but you know that this Sciarm that the ghost spoke of is likely on his way. Or you can wait here for Sciarm as well.
Well, I might take
We're protected for 1 hour, just saying.
Yeah, I might take a quick step outside the, but not too far out, so I can jump back.
So the flames don't seem to affect you, but if you want to step forward, Ossie can see that ghost being driven away. Do you want to continue on until it's destroyed? That ghost seems compelled to step away, but not willing to flee, as though it will die here doing its master's bidding.
Yeah, I'll try and see if I can just eradicate it.
You leave the safety of the circle. Do you take the lantern with you? And does Ossie go with you, since Ossie can see this ghost? Or does Ossie stay back protected?
Yeah, I'll go with him and help him out.
Okay, so we'll kind of take a step past the little barrier to see if we can...
You step past the barrier and continue pressing towards this ghost. All the while it's taking damages from this fire. Until eventually you get far enough through there, away from the firelight, that your acidify bag annihilates it completely. And Ossie, you see that ghost split apart like wet paper simply dissolving in water. And then, Zoah, you hear a voice. A human voice. You hear a voice call out, "I remember you from when you were young." A female voice calling out to you. Ossie, you feel compelled to see who it is that's speaking to you. As a ghost, it's almost as if you're being drawn to that voice.
Yeah, I guess I'll check it out.
If you want to resist, you can make a roll. Otherwise, you will be compelled to go forward.
I kind of want to see who it is anyway.
Okay. It's not far.
Hope it's not the.
Syard.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's not far from where you are.
Does it?
You get up around a small bend, and you look down in a hole in the rock, and you see this. You, this woman says to Ossie, you are the one who died and lived again. Ah, now I understand. Rabbit has sent you all to pay your owe. He was always the cleverest among us. You have found the Mander Witch.
Great.
Help me out of here. Get your friends. Free me.
Can I tell if this is like a trap or something?
Yeah, you go ahead and make an intellect roll. Do you have anything that might aid you in this? Let's see. You have nope. So it'll be a straight roll. You feel confident that this is the Mander Witch. You recognize a good energy about her. The same energy that surrounded Rabbit. Not the energy that was around those ghosts or that white thing.
Okay, so yeah, I'll free her.
So you are not going to be able to help her out of there. You're going to have to get one of your friends. Do you call Zoah over to help get this witch out of this hole?
Yeah.
And Zoah, do you answer that call?
Yes, I do. And I can see this witch, even though.
Yeah, when you get up around the bend, you can see her. And you see her down in this dark, damp hole. She's covered with an old blanket. Her clothes look shabby. She looks as though she's been mistreated down here. She has a grandmotherly look to her. And she says, "Oh, I know you, Mr. Green. I was captured and brought here by a being known as Scion, who works for the Langley Coal and Navigation Company. Scion was a man long ago, but something got into him, and now he is something else. He wears his torn and tattered years like so many coats, and with each one he can bind a being to a place and strip away their power. I am bound into this cave, this mine shaft. I cannot leave unless you and your friends break the bind. But Scion is dangerous. We must be swift." Did those ghosts, did you fight them? Did you best them?
I bested one of them.
But the other got away.
Yeah.
We must move quickly. It won't be long until he is here. We must find a safe place in these mines. I will teach you all the ritual. And then she looks at you, Zoah, and says, "Take me to your friends, to Eavey and W.E. His name is Wallace Everett, though he does not know it."
He just calls himself We.
Do you help the witch out over to the fire circle, which I never saw this coming. This is a fantastic place to do this ritual.
Yeah, that would be kind of a little safe place for us to kind of gather up, and she can explain to us what we got to do.
You take her back to the fire, and W.E. and Eavey, you see this old grandmotherly woman. She is bent with age and worry, and she steps into the fire circle and says, "Yes, this will do. To break the bind calls for 3 things. This conjure deck," and she pulls out a deck of conjure cards, old worn playing cards. "The ritual won't be near as powerful because the deck is missing a card."
Oh. Yeah. Sorry about that.
"We need deadly webcap mushrooms. And we need to sacrifice a shared memory.
I think I remember seeing some mushrooms.
You do. They were near the cave entrance. If you want to go back and retrieve some, you won't even need to make a roll. You know right where they are. You go and gather up some mushrooms and come back.
Some mushrooms.
She's got her conjure deck. Do you mention that you have used the cipher? Ossie?
I mean, yeah, I'll tell her.
That's all right, child. The deck is still complete, even if the magic of one card is gone. For it knows its brothers and its sisters, much as y'all are brothers and sisters. And the witch takes the spent card and puts it back in the deck and holds it. Yes, this is powerful now. Zoah comes back with the mushrooms. She says, now, the most important part. We need a shared memory. This must be important and must be shared by at least 2 of you. The more who share the memory and the older the memory is, the more powerful the ritual will be. But those who give up their memory will not get it back, nor remember that they gave it up. And so, stepping into the Game Master boots here, you guys can come up with a memory from childhood or more recent event. It will be.
Didn't we all have that memory of the white thing?
Excellent. See, that would be a great memory because you were children, and you all have a shared memory of that.
And I wouldn't mind giving that up.
Right, that'd be a good one to get rid of. She says, while a memory of fear is good, a memory of love is better. Is that the memory you wish to use?
Well, the only other shared memory I know that we all have would be Ossie's first death.
Ossie probably doesn't want to remember that one.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of the white thing. I think that's a great shared memory. And you all shared in that. You all have a piece of that. So that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't want to forget about Ossie then. Coming back.
Yeah, I know.
Now, yeah, because then you would likely never remember Ossie again. You would just think he
What are we doing
died.
here?
Yeah, who are you people? One of you will need to perform the ritual. Who will take the place in the circle of cards? Eavey, since it's your birthday.
Oh, Lord.
Happy birthday.
The Mander Witch places the cards in a circle on the cave floor. She holds the mushrooms in her hands. Eavey, you stand in that circle of cards, and as everyone begins to retell the memory, each of you telling part of the story, while the witch makes a special magical paste with the mushrooms, Eavey, you begin to take on a childlike appearance, as you appeared so many years ago in the woods. You relive those moments of fear of that white thing. The urge to protect your friends is strong, and as you replay that memory in your mind, it is absorbed by the magic of the cards. Now, Eavey, she says, you must eat the paste of these mushrooms and then break that bind. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is a level 7 task. So, mechanically, you cannot roll a 7. That would be a 21. That's a 20-sided die. So this is a very difficult task. However, having the entire conjure deck is an asset, as does giving up a memory shared by 3 or more people. So that's going to reduce it down to a 5. I'm going to let you see how else you want to reduce it. You can use effort, you can use ciphers, you can use assets, you can use skills. You tell me how you want to try and reduce this, and then Eavey is going to make the roll.
What kind of roll would that be?
It's going to be an intellect roll.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the 3 away from that to...
Okay, so use a level of effort. That'll make it a difficulty 4.
And then is there anything else I can do?
Anyone else have anything they want to offer?
I have the ability Friendly Advice, which I can give someone a suggestion, and the character is trained in that action for 1 round. Perfect.
So what advice do you give Eavey on how to break this magical bind?
I guess I'll just say, I'll talk about our memories at the rock when we were children, and just say, you're giving up this memory for a good cause. You're protecting your friends.
And seeing the words protecting your friends, that's exactly what motivates her.
Yeah. And I don't know if this will count here, but I'm gonna say I have a skill that says I'm always expecting my obligations come due, thus I am resistant to mental shocks. I am trained in intellect defense task having to do with losing your sanity or equanimity.
That normally wouldn't count, but I'm all for the rule of cool. I'm going to say that counts. Because I think that's perfect. Anyone else have anything they can offer besides that memory and some comforting words? Then it's time to roll. You've reduced it 5 levels. That's going to be a level 2 task. You need to beat a 6. Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Fantastic. So you feel it's close, and as that memory slips through your fingers, you feel something taken from you. That horrible vision you had of that beast sticking its antlered head into your body flashes before your mind for a moment. And then the bind is broken. The Mander Witch has her powers back and can leave this place. That old blanket she was wearing turns into an old, dried skin, and it disintegrates around her, almost as if watching a time-lapse video of something decaying into dust. And as you prepare to leave the cave, Sciarn approaches.
I knew it.
My binding is broken. Y'all cannot leave this mine. It cannot be. And Sciarn looks at W.E. and says, "Power, sir, beyond what you can imagine. That's what the Langleys can give you. Join me. This witch is full of child's tales for foolish children. Join me and know power. Zoah,
take me and all
power.
my friends can go."
Ooh, you're gonna sacrifice yourself, Eavey?
Yep.
I did not see that coming.
I think we can take this guy.
Ooh. How do you want to do it, Eavey? It's your birthday. Do you want to sacrifice to try and get out of here?
I kind of want to do the big sacrifice play. Yeah.
This guy,
birthday hero.
This guy is a much tougher fight than that white thing. So this is a great way to get past him. This guy is also level 6, but he's got some really bad stuff he can do.
Big sacrifice play. Let's go.
Okay, I love it. He reaches out a hand and holds it out to you. You must take his hand. Placing your hand in his palm, he pulls you away from your friends. You look back one last time at those friends, and you have a chance to say some words. What do you say?
I will never regret a second of this. This is for everything we've all been through together. Please remember me.
Some of the skins that he wears, he begins to wrap around you, binding you to him, binding your arms down against the side of your body, binding your legs together, wrappings around your neck tight to restrict your air, a wrap around your mouth, stopping all of your goodbyes to your friends, and then a wrapping around your eyes, and the last thing you see is the lantern light, your friends' faces, tears glistening in this dark mine shaft.
I don't flinch.
All becomes oblivion, and you are gone. This has greatly weakened Cyarn. We're gonna do a battle because he still needs to be defeated, but this is going to have done a significant damage to him because part of what he needed was he needed a soul, and he's got it now. But part of your due is to stop what he wants to do. Let me pull him out, but I'm going to adjust his stats. This is actually going to be really cool. I'm going to put him over here on the screen. Give me just a moment. Everyone but Eavey, I need you to make an initiative roll. And Clara, I'm going to let you play the Mander Witch.
Okay.
So
there you go.
I'm going to take Eavey
You're back in the
out of
fight.
here. You're back in the fight. So let me see if I can give you ownership. The character sheet's going to look very different. Can you move?
Alright.
Can you move that token?
No. Because it's paused.
Oh, because it's paused. There we go. Now can you move it?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, and you can access, if you click it, you get the character sheet.
Oh, yes, it's very different.
Very different. So,
Oh, cool.
the main thing that you want is under combat, you've got some abilities. There's Call Maelstrom, Going Under, Hear the Wind,
Yeah.
Wash Away Wounds, Water Ward. Your attacks will do... You have 2 armor if you use Call Maelstrom. And you got 24 hit points. So, sweet. All of your skills are going to be... let's see, you don't have skills listed, but I've got some modifications we can make. So we're going to make an initiative roll. If we haven't done that yet, let's do it. This guy, he would have been a level 6. He's going to be a level 5 now. So you need to beat a 15 if you want to go ahead of him. So Ossie Birch. We'll go ahead of him.
And I am trained in initiative, so I think with my 12.
That's like
Oh
a 15.
my God!
Yep. So WE will go. The Mander Witch can go first. And did Zoah roll initiative?
Yeah, I rolled a 17, I believe.
I don't. Oh, I think it just updated. There we go. Perfect. So everyone gets to go ahead of him. So Mander Witch, you are first. What do you do?
Yeah, just a second. I'm still reading a little bit.
Well, if we want, we can skip to Ossie, and then we'll go to the Mander Witch. Ossie, you just saw your friend get destroyed.
Well, I'm just gonna call Maelstrom.
Perfect. So you call forth a group of hellbender salamanders that squirm up
Nice.
through cracks in the mine shaft. They can aid in your attacks, swarm about and hinder all opponents' tasks, or work as armor. Do you want to hinder Cyarn's attacks? Do you want to aid in your next
Yes.
attack? Do you want to hinder his attacks?
No, I want to hinder. Yes.
Perfect. So all of his attacks are going to be reduced in strength, so your defenses will be much easier. Ossie, what do you do? against Scion?
After seeing Eavey being, I guess, like, killed by this creature, I'm gonna do Shake the Bones. Because
Excellent.
I'm very upset, and my words seem to do a lot more damage than I can
They do.
physically.
So you'll need to make an intellect roll. If you want to spend effort, you can. Otherwise, you need to roll a 15.
Yeah, I'll spend effort.
Perfect. So that will cost you 3. You get 1 back, and then it costs 1 for Shake the Bone. So it costs you a total of 3, and need to beat a 12. You got it. Sweet. And intellect damage, armor does not protect against. So his armor, which is 2, does not protect him from that. Well done. W.E.
I will attempt to attack him with my machete.
So he's level 5, so you need to beat a 15 unless you spend effort.
Yeah, I'll spend some effort.
So then you need to beat a 12. Oh! Do you have an XP?
I don't want to spend it.
Okay. So you come close, but not quite. Zoah, your turn.
Okay. So I have that ability that'll just do the damage.
Yep.
And then I will take a shot at it with my rifle.
Perfect.
And I'll use subtract 2, and then that'll.
Yep, that'll ease it by
1
1
advantage.
Yep. So then you need to beat a 12.
All right.
And
that
Oh!
do it.
Do you have an XP?
Yes, I do. Actually, I got 2, luckily. So I'll use one of those.
Okay. Otherwise, the ghost is going to show up. So.
Yeah, I don't need
Oh, well.
that. No, at least I didn't get a ghost.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a 1. So.
Yeah, at least I didn't get a ghost. Didn't make it worse.
Sciorn's turn. He has a whip. This is the Devil's Lash.
Has it like
That
been
doesn't
an
sound good.
hour since I used that
No.
Cypher?
So you all still have the +3 armor?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yep, so everyone still has +3 to their armor. He is going to use his whip. It will be speed defense rolls. Because of his size, is going to be reduced by 1.
Do we still have the fire?
Yes, you do have the fire. Thank you for reminding me.
That's right. I was just thinking of that.
Yeah, so he's going to take some damage. Let me
Good.
go back and see what that fire.
I think it was 5.
It was 5 points of damage. Yes, so he's going to take 5 from the fire. He also takes 1 from that acidify.
Yep. So at least I did a little damage. I can't shoot straight, but
He is he is close to down. Yeah, so everyone has +3 armor because of that 1 Cypher, and his attacks are hindered because of those salamanders. He gets 3 attacks, and he's going to attack the Mander Witch, W.E., and Zoah. So you need to make speed defense rolls. You need to beat, it'll be reduced to a 4, so you need to beat a 12. If you are trained in speed defense, then that will make it a 9. Or if you have danger sense, that will... no, danger sense is initiative, excuse me. So if you're trained in speed defense, you can make it a 9, otherwise you need to beat a 12, or you can spend effort. That is a success for W.E. That is a success for Zoah. And the Mander Witch, you will go ahead and roll, and you need to beat a 12.
Sorry.
You may just have to roll the dice on the dice tray at the bottom right. There you go. Oh, you got it. Perfect.
Nice.
Mander Witch, it's your turn.
I'm gonna attack it with. I have a long stick with a pointed end.
Nice. Gonna stick him with it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So go ahead and make an attack roll that will be like a speed roll. Just roll a d20. You need to beat a 15. Close. Ossie, your turn.
It's not her forte. She tried.
No, she's not good at poking stuff with sticks. But those salamanders are doing their job.
They're good.
What you got, Ossie?
Can I just use that same shake
the bones?
again?
Absolutely. You want to spend effort?
Yeah.
Okay, then you just need to beat a 12. Just, mark those intellect points off. No! And you got a 13!
Nice.
Alright, tell me how you destroy Sciarn.
Oh my god!
I'm very upset because he has been hurting my friends. He killed Eavey, so with this final confrontation, I say, you did not deserve to take her, you foul creature. You did not deserve to be here.
And those words strike him right at his very core, and the pain that he has inflicted suddenly comes due for him, and he sees and feels this pain in all of your faces, and particularly in yours, Ossie, knowing that you have died and been brought back to serve a purpose. He expires, his great skin wrappings falling like old wasp nest husks onto the ground. The Mander Witch thanks you and says you are always welcome at her domain and her river. She promises to convince the river to reject the dam. She gives you her conjure deck to remember her by. She tells you that she will ensure that the woods and river are safe, and then suddenly you appear back in the clearing, and you see Rabbit there, and Eavey is there as a spirit. And
Hey, well, at least Ossie has a friend.
yeah, Ossie and Eavey hold hands. Rabbit thanks you for fulfilling your oath. He offers as his final gift to give Ossie and Eavey the choice to live on as ghosts or to pass on to what is next. What do you choose?
Oh my god.
I would think, I've cheated death enough times. I'm ready to just
Be at rest?
To be at rest and go peacefully.
And Eavey, do you choose to remain as a ghost, or do you choose to go to that eternal rest?
No, I follow my friend.
The two of you, hand in hand, walk into the woods together. Ossie begins to sing a high, mournful song. And then Rabbit vanishes. The rabbit-shaped rock reforms in the center of the clearing, and the fort is returned to what it was when you were children, as if it has been pulled forward through time. For a moment, you look and feel like the children that you were. Then far off in the distance, you hear that high and lonesome song slowly turn into the call of a bird. Two birds fly overhead, fluttering around one another, circling the clearing, before heading off into the woods. And that's the end. You get experience points. You each earn 2 XP for finding and unbinding the Mander Witch. You get 2 additional XP if you fulfilled your O in a way that feels satisfactory to you.
Oh yes, I feel satisfied with my filling the O.
I would think so. So then if this were a campaign, you could spend XP. If you have at least 4, you can click some of those boxes kind of towards the top of the character sheet. There's +4 to your stat pools, +1 effort, +1 edge, or skill. So spending 4 of those, you check a box, and then you do what it says. You increase your effort by 1, or add 1 edge to any one of the pools, or add 4 points, however you see, to your maximum pools. Or you gain a skill of your choosing. In Cypher System, there's no skill list. You simply pick, I want to be good at climbing, or fast talk, or whatever. You just pick it and then you put it. Or if it's a skill you already have, you can go from trained to specialized, and that would reduce a task by 2. And once you've checked 4 of those boxes, other is things like being, skilled with armor or things like that. It doesn't usually come into play. It's usually stat pools, effort, edge, and a skill. Once you've checked all 4 of those, you go from a tier 1 to a tier 2. You uncheck all those boxes, and now you're basically level 2. You'll get some additional abilities based on your descriptor, like Beholden, like Protector, or Sage, or Explorer. You'll get something additional from your foci, which is like gets rough and rowdy, or sings a high lonesome song, or knows the unknowable. But you would gain a few extra abilities, and then you just continue on, and tier 6 is as high as it goes. So you could continue on in a campaign. If you were doing an old Gods of Appalachia campaign, you could just continue on with these characters, but these are designed specifically for this adventure, and that was a pretty satisfying ending for me. So what do y'all think of that adventure? Did you have a good time?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was awesome.
That was a good one.
Was this a good birthday, Clara?
Yes, it was.
Even though we killed off your character?
I mean, in the best way.
Yeah, you got a pretty cool story out of it, so it was pretty
Well,
spectacular.
First, I had the ritual, and then she had the big sacrifice play. I cannot ask for more than that.
Right? It was fantastic.